Welcome back. Today I'm going to be barbecuing a few things that we normally wouldn't look at. We're going to barbecue a watermelon, Brussels sprouts, and portobello mushrooms. Now, a lot of times when you look at food and things that people just hate to eat, a lot of people just don't like mushrooms whatsoever. But we're going to put a twist on this. It's going to be amazing and excellent. Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are a part of the cabbage family. Don't really taste too much like cabbage. They have kind of a bitter taste to them. We're going to barbecue these as well. I probably haven't had Brussels sprouts since I was a teenager, and that was probably like 30 years ago. And that was only because my grandmother made me eat them. But we're going to hook these up today. They're going to be amazing. I'm going to be the first one to bite into it, even though I do not like Brussels sprouts. And we're going to smoke a watermelon. We're going to put a twist on this. It's going to be amazing. So let's get started. Okay, so I've got my Brussels sprouts. I've already gave them a good washing off just to make sure they are clean on the outside and good to go and everything. And I got some pretty nice sized Brussels sprouts. You don't want to get any really small ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our Brussels sprout and we're just going to cut it almost to the halfway point. And we're going to do that on all four sides, because we're going to marinate these, and I want that seasoning to really get down in all the leaves over here. Just going to cut that all four sides and get apply a little pressure to that. My grandmother used to make Brussels sprouts. She would just boil them with a little bit of either pig feet, or hog moss. Because the more fat that you have that can soak down into the Brussels sprout, the better the taste that you get. So we're not going to use pig feet or anything like that, because who eats pig feet? But we are going to make sure that that's really seasoned really well to get that bitter taste out of there. So whenever marinade you want to use, I'm using the Lawry's herb and garlic. Just want to make sure that you have something that's garlic based in there that's really going to get those flavors in there. So shake this up a little bit, and this is at Walmart for just a couple of bucks. Okay, just make sure that that marinade gets all inside of there so it can soak all that up. We're going to pop this in the fridge for about an hour or so, and then we're gonna continue to prep them and put them on the grill. Okay, so it's been about an hour since we put our Brussels sprouts in the marinade, and we've had these in the refrigerator. So now we're gonna go ahead and pull them off, season them, wrap them, so we can get them on the grill. So the first thing I did was we want to take our bacon and we want to cut it in half. Now you want to get a nice thick cut bacon, as thick as you can, and we're gonna take this, maybe 5 or 6 slices, and we're going to slice this in half. We're going to put our rub on it. And I want to put this on graciously, just like I would if I was doing ribs or anything else. Flip these bad boys over. So not only do we have the garlic and herb marinate that's really soaked down into those leaves, we have our rub of our smoked paprika and other things that's really going to seep into there also and give it the flavor that we need and want. So we'll take our bacon and wrap it around once. And wrap it around the other way. 2 pieces are all you need. If you want to go ahead and wrap a 3rd and 4th time to completely cover, that's fine and perfect. Now, I'm going to barbecue all of mine at the same time. So I'm going to put all mine on skewers so I can barbecue them and flip them when I need to. If you want to use toothpicks to hold your bacon on there, that's fine. It's a preferable way to do, but you can do this way also. Now the bacon is going to lock in that flavor, give that fat that's in the bacon. It's going to seep down into there and give this really the taste that we're looking for. Okay, I'm going to wrap the rest of these, get these on the skewer. Then we'll go out here and fire up the grill so we can get everything on. Okay, so I have probably about a pound and a half, maybe 2 pound seedless watermelon. And it all depends on your preference. If you like seedless watermelon or seeded watermelon, it really doesn't matter. You just have to spit the seeds out or whatever. But I'm picking the seedless watermelon, so it's going to make it a little bit more easier to eat. Side note, I hate watermelon. Never have liked it. Although I do like watermelon flavored candy and watermelon flavored soda and stuff like that. But I personally do not like watermelon whatsoever. But we're going to make this so even the person who doesn't like watermelon will eat this. So we're going to go ahead and peel the outer layer off, and we want to get it down to the actual redness of the watermelon. Okay, as you can see, we've got all the outer layer rind off of our watermelon, and I probably cut on the bottom portion maybe 2 to 3 centimeters off so it can lay flat on the ground. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to score it a little bit, and we're going to season it. So we're just going to take our knife and cut down maybe a 1/4 inch. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to season this bad boy here. Now, we're going to put a jerk season on top of this. So got this from Walmart also. This is the hot and spicy, really spicy jerk. There is a mild form if this is too spicy for you. But what we want to hit on this watermelon is the sweetness of the melon, the smoke from the barbecue, and the seasoning and hot from the jerk seasoning. Now, depending on your palate and if you can handle hot or not, which I can, you might want to be a little bit more liberal than what I'm putting on. But we can handle a little heat, so yeah. Now you don't have to really worry about trying to get it all into the pores of the watermelon. Just want to rub it on there as best you can, because we're going to let the smoke take care of the rest. So we're going to cook this on the smoker for about 2 hours, 2 good hours, just to let that smoke get in there. It's not a piece of meat, so you're not worried about an internal temperature or anything like that. So next up, we're going to prep our mushrooms for our stuffed barbecue portobello mushrooms. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take your portobello mushrooms, and you can just brush these clean. There's no need to soak these in water or rinse these off, because mushrooms retain a lot of water. So just want to brush them off, make sure they're nice and good and clean on the outside. We're going to go ahead and we're going to break the stem off. And what you want to do is take a spoon, and you want to get in here and you want to dig all the gills out of the mushroom. And what that's going to do is that's going to create a little pocket in here for us to put our stuffed mixture. So break the stem off. And go ahead and spoon out all your gills and your mushroom. Like I said, if you were to have washed this down with water, all these gills are going to maintain a lot of that moisture in there, and it's not what you want. Now you got to be careful when popping your stem out of there because things are delicate and you don't want to break too much off. We'll still be able to stuff this one though. Usually like a teaspoon, a smaller type spoon works the best because you can really get in there and really clean those gills out, that gill out of there. And it's not really hard to do, they just flake right up out of there for you. Okay, so the first thing I'm starting off with, I've already diced up some sweet basil that I pulled out of my garden. So probably maybe about a tablespoon of sweet basil. Next thing we're gonna add is Philadelphia cream cheese. I think this is an 8-ounce pack maybe. Now you want this at room temperature. That way it's more easy to shape and mold into what we want to do. Next you want about a cup of sharp cheddar cheese. Now for the next portion, I'm going to use some ground beef that my wife had previously made. If you want to use pulled pork, that's fine. I'm also going to do a couple that are vegetarian. My producer here is vegetarian, so I'm going to make a couple for her that's just going to be straight vegetarian, with just some bell peppers that I pulled out of an onion I pulled out of my garden. Now this is barbecue, so we want a little bit of barbecue sauce in there. I love Sweet Baby Ray's, so we're going to add just a couple of tablespoons of barbecue sauce in there. That's going to help also bind that all together. And this is the honey barbecue sauce, just to give it a little bit of that sweetness taste to it. And those of you all from the DC area, we're going to put a little Capital City Mamba sauce inside there as well. Shout out to DC. So just gonna mix this up by hand. Easiest way to do it if you want to use a blender, but we barbecuing, so we're gonna get that together by hand. So what we're gonna do is take some of this goodness and we're gonna scoop it right inside of there, just like that. Put that bad boy in there. Go on to the next one. Now you don't want to overstuff these because like I said, we're going to put these on the grill. And we don't want anything to burn. Baby portobellos are the best to use. They're small, they're a nice size, nice finger food. You know, you pick it up, pop it in. These will be extra hot when you eat them though, so keep that in mind. And most of this is just prep time. This is not going to take too long to cook out on the grill. Maybe 30 minutes. 30 to 45 minutes because we want to hit it with that smoke. Let that smoke get on there and it's going to be good to go. I'm going to put some of my rib rub on there. For the ingredients for this, you can refer back to my first video. It's got everything all the ingredients for my rub on here. Not only rib rub, shoulder rub, brisket rub. And we're just going to lightly sprinkle this on here. To help give it just a little bit more bang. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna put this on the grill here shortly, 30 to 45 minutes, and those are gonna be good to go. I'm gonna prep these last two with just my vegetables in there for the vegetarian ones, and then we'll get those all out on the grill. Okay, we've got our prep done. Now we're outside. A few things I wanna go over first. First thing we want to do whenever we have an open pit or our pellet smoker is safety. So make sure that you always have a fire extinguisher out, even for the most experienced pit master. Anything can happen at any time, so we want to make sure we have a fire extinguisher out here so we can take care of any emergency. Of course, Kingsford charcoal. If you're not cooking if you're not barbecuing with Kingsford, you're not barbecuing at all. As you see out here, I have no lighter fluid. As in my last video, we light the chimney, we let that sit for 10-15 minutes, pour that into our charcoal that's on the grill. Nice lit fire, no residue taste of lighter fluid whatsoever. The other day I got some actual cherry wood from a guy right up the street. Probably about 30 minutes into this, I'm gonna put some of this cherry wood on here so I can get a nice sweet flavor to that. But if you want to use apple or mesquite or hickory, that's fine also. The watermelon has been on for about an hour and 15 minutes now, so we're gonna let that cook for about 45 more minutes before we take it off. It's basically done. I just want a little bit more smoke to get on there. On my regular grill, I got a temperature of 400 right now, but I'm gonna back that down just a little bit so that I can get a nice cooking temperature about between 300 and 350. So, tip when you're barbecuing, you want to make sure that those coals are ash white hot as possible. You want to get those all the way white. You don't want any black on there at all. That way it's really cooking. You really got the heat that you need. And it's pretty hot coming up off of there right now. All right, so we got our stuffed portobello mushrooms. Just make sure that you're careful when putting this on here because this grill, like I said, is 400 degrees Fahrenheit right now. So I got my two veggie ones that I just stuffed with some red and orange bell pepper that I picked out of my garden, along with some shredded cheddar cheese and onion. All right, so we also have our Brussels sprouts. We get those right on the grill. All right, we're gonna close it up. And I'm gonna clamp that almost all the way. Like I said, I want that between 300 and 350. We're gonna let all those cook between 30 and 45 minutes. We're gonna come out here in another 30 minutes to put some wood on so they can get some smoke that lasts 15-20 minutes of it. So we'll see you in about 45 minutes. So about 3 or 4 years ago, my wife and I were in Olive Garden in Long Island, New York. And I can't remember what I had to eat, but it was so spicy that I had to use the napkin, the cloth napkin that you get at Olive Garden to blow my nose, and I was snorting the whole time. So me and spicy food don't go together at all. So it's amazing that I'm about to even try to eat this. We've got our watermelon here, our jerk season watermelon. Total time on the grill was about 2 hours. Prep time was about 30 minutes. So total time for this was about 2.5 hours. Let's go ahead and cut that and see how it looks. So as you can see, we got the smoke ring on the outside. It's real smoky. Woo! So you got the sweetness. Oh God. You got the sweetness of the watermelon and the spice from the jerk. It was really, really good. And you got the smoky flavor all together. That is amazing right there. All right, so moving over to our portobello mushrooms. So prep time, this was about maybe 30 minutes. It took us to mix everything together and prep it. It was out there maybe 30, 45 minutes. This is really hot, so I'm not gonna bite into this right now. And our Brussels sprout. Like I said, I haven't had one of these in about 30 years. So let's taste it. The seasoning from the bacon has really crept in there. It's not bitter at all. I can really taste the garlic and herb from the marinade that was in there. So amazing, really, really good. So that's our tutorial for today. Hope you all enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe if you liked everything. Thanks.